What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative, where today I will be talking about all of the things that I read since I talked to you last Friday. Now, things may look a little different behind me. I think this is the first video going up on the channel with the difference, and that is a part of my hair on the other side and flipped it over. It was looking funny going this way, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna flip it the other way and see if it likes that. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. I did flip my hair the other way. But I do have a little bit of a different angle of my office where I'm filming. I have rearranged a lot in here. The bookshelves didn't move. They're still in the same place, but I moved my desk back against the far wall because I added a new shelving unit over here that's got all of my stationery supplies, journaling supplies. I'm working on a short little bit of a vlog about that. I'm waiting on a few other things to arrive that I'm going to organize and put on there, and then I will post that up just for funsies on the channel for those of you who might want to see how I'm organizing all of that fun stuff. Pens, markers, stickers, washi tape, all manner of things. So chime in and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's get into what I have been reading this week, starting with what have I finished. First up, I read a nonfiction essay out of Joan Didion's collection, We Tell Ourselves Stories in Order to Live. This is part of a read-along that Kate from the Literary Apothecary is hosting. We read Rock of Ages this month, and it's really good. I have become a fan of Joan's writing style in that she can transport you to a place. And if she can't transport you, she is dang sure going to make sure you feel the atmosphere. Rock of Ages is about a little trip she took to Alcatraz, that formidable frozen island that used to be a prison. Now, it does help that I have seen this prison in many movies. I've read articles, I've watched documentaries about it, so I had a good visual of what it looked like, but she just brought the feeling of it to me. So good. I also finished Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. I loved this book. It was a 5-star read for me until the end. I ended up rating it as a middle of the road book. It was a good book. It was not a great book, and it was definitely not a perfect book. The mounting fear, the dread, the suspense of what was going on, the mystery of the house, uncovering what happened in the character's past. I was so involved in that. In fact, after reading chapter 18, I had nightmares. There was also something that happened, which if you read this book and you want to hear spoilers, the live show is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to tell y'all about something that happened the night that I tried to sleep after reading chapter 18. So it was great until for me, it wasn't. I would love to be able to tell you why the ending didn't work for me, but if you haven't read it, it would absolutely spoil it. But it's one that I would say if you've been interested in it, check it out from your library. Don't buy it. I also finished Echoes of Another Earth by J. Daniel Layfield. I love this book. There was laughter, there were tears, there were found family moments. I just loved this book. When I finished it, Goodreads was like, hey, before you go, check out this other stuff by the author. I downloaded every other book I could find by J. Daniel Layfield. Echoes of Another Earth is a sci-fi standalone. There was one more sci-fi standalone. There was a couple books out in a fantasy series. There was a book out in an urban fantasy series. I am intrigued. I love when an author writes in multiple genres. Can the author pull that off? We're going to find out because I'm going to read all of these books as soon as I can. I love the writing style. The execution of the story was just on point. It was one of those books that I enjoyed every moment that I spent reading it. Most of the time, I was sitting there smiling while reading it. I was 100% engaged. I kept trying to stay awake to read, and it would drop my Kindle on my face. It was worth the pain. I also finished up Michael Jess Alexander's new collection, Conjure Darkness, 6 Macabre Tales. I read Away Game, The Experiment, Small Revolution, and The Screaming Void. I had the best time with these. There were a couple that were funny, but you kind of feel bad for laughing because something clearly happened that was serious, but just something else happened that just made it a little bit humorous. This collection is perfect for people who might want to try out sci-fi horror, or if you're a predominant horror reader, you want to try out sci-fi or vice versa. All 6 of these stories excellently blend those 2 genres together into a great experience. They're short, they're perfect for if you have some time on your lunch break and you want to fill it with reading, or if you're like my friend Victoria, you're sitting in the child pickup line at school, you want to pass the time. These stories are bite-sized, definitely worth reading. I love Michael Jess Alexander's writing. As soon as I read the collection last year that he wrote, I immediately asked for more. Now he's given me more, and what's happened? Now I'm like, so we working on anything else? I did write a short review for the collection. I'll link that down in the description box below if you want to check it out. Now the cover for that collection looks comic book graphic novel-esque, but it is very mature content. Don't let your kids read this collection, friends. I believe that is all of my completed reads. What am I working on? Well, as you know, I started my reread of The Wheel of Time by reading The Eye of the World. I am a little over halfway through. I will be focusing the rest of this down over the next few days because there's a live show on Saturday, the 28th at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. The reason why it's an odd time is because Kate from the Literary Apothecary, who's hosting this read along, she will be joining me for the Wine and Crime live show for Just Like Home at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So we want to make time for a quick bathroom break, get some coffee, all that fun stuff. I'm really enjoying this reread. I am enjoying rereading it while watching others read it for the first time. I am making a list of my favorite moments from this reread, and I will put that out in a separate video coming soon, or probably sometime in February. I also started Gods of the Black Gate by Joseph Sale. This is book 2 in the new series Book of Thrice Dead. This is available on February 1st. I am over halfway done with it. I'll have it read and reviewed, so you can check that out by the time February 1st rolls around. It's about a serial killer, Craig Smiley, who murdered 7 women for 7 gods that he worships, that the detectives think is some made-up religion that he's created in his own mind. The problem is people believe the stuff that he tells them, and so they try to keep him isolated. He is in prison on Mars. You heard me, in space, and he escapes. I can't wait to finish this one. Hopefully I can finish this one tonight. We're going to see how fast I can get done with all of my work today and get moving on that one. I've also started a new nonfiction book. This is Zora Neale Hurston's Tell My Horse. I have read just a couple of chapters so far. It is about a trip she has taken to Jamaica. She's doing a deep dive on the religion, the economic, social standings of the folks there. I've really enjoyed what I've read so far because I just really jive with Zora's writing style. It's almost like she's sitting there talking to you, having a conversation with you the way that she writes, meaning she'll give you all this information and then she'll follow that paragraph up with like a one-liner opinion of her own. Absolutely loved it. So I'll be slowly working my way through this one. And I have also started on my Kindle my last read for the top 6 quarterfinalists chosen by Team Book Invasion for SPSFC, and that is The Trellis by Jules Cantor. I've only read 4 or 5 chapters. The author did a great job capturing my interest immediately because we meet this character, he's going about his morning routine, and then he's just randomly murdered. Wasn't expecting it, so now we've got this murder mystery going on. The sci-fi element for this one, I believe, is the detective has a partner that seems to be a computer, maybe an AI computer. I'm not sure. I've just met Matt, so I'll have to see what's going on there and report back in next week. So that takes care of all of the things that I'm currently reading. What am I going to read next? First up will be The Dreams That Bind Us. So this book takes the science fiction genre and blends it with the thriller genre. That is a match made in heaven for me. I love thrillers. I've been reading science fiction like it is the only genre in the world lately. I've been loving it. But this sci-fi thriller explores the possibility that when we dream, we're entering an alternate reality. That caught my attention right away because am I the only one that's had a dream like that? Or thought about how, what if this is not reality? What if we're existing in a dream within a dream, like Inception? That kind of thought process will tie you in knots and just really mess you up. You don't really get anywhere, but I'm excited to see what this author does with that concept. So that is going to be my very next read, followed by The Way of Unity by Sarah K. Bastrop. I have a feeling this might be my last read that I start in January. It might carry over into February a little bit. This one comes out February 6th, I believe. I will have it read and a written review up. My friends over at Escapist Book Company have a tour that's going to be the latter part of February, first part of March. I will link that information down below, and so you can check out what those reviewers think. That way you don't just have my opinion, you got a whole bunch of opinions to see if this is one for you. But I do believe this is going to be one that fantasy lovers are going to want to get their hands on. That's gonna do it, y'all. Those are all of the books that I have read, ones that I'm still reading, and what I plan to read next. How has your week been going? What have you guys been reading? Have you made a successful dent in your TBRs already? Let me know what you've been reading down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm so glad that you stopped by and gave me a little moment of your time to see what I've been reading. Don't forget, before you leave, if you liked the video, hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button on your way out. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.